Against this right back, Charlie's definitely.
People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian.
There's always just that active red line defending. I think it's like.
People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian. Come on.
Come on, Ian. Good morning to all my Arsenal fans. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and of course, in some cases, good night, depending on where you are in this world, Arsenal fan or not. Very appreciative of all the support you give my platform, people. I appreciate all the support, people. Make sure you're hitting the like button, you're commenting, you're subscribing, you're doing all that good things, people. I hope last week was great for you lot. I hope this week is even bigger and better for you and your loved ones in all aspects, most importantly, health, people. And yeah, man, I hope you had a great weekend, man. Good morning to my fellow 3-point debt collectors. Is normal. You can't come round the Emirates, man. Ten Hag, Conte, boys, they don't come round here, man. They don't play my team home or away. Chelsea, Liverpool, United, Spurs ×2. Anyone I'm missing out, you can get as well. Saka from far, Eddie from close. Man United on the ropes. I give it to Ten Hag. He's got heart. But at least they couldn't last. You know the vibes, people. We're doing all right now. Let's just keep working hard in that and seeing where it takes us Arsenal fans. Right now, I don't know about title challenges and things like that. I know we start the campaign every year top because of mathematics and, well, I said mathematics, alphabetical order. I know goals do adjust in the season, but top 4 Champions League football was it. Hopefully we can bring the FA Cup, Europa League, and maybe something else home. Let's just keep working hard. Let the fans savor the moment with the United fans. It's all love United, you know. I think Ten Hag will get it right. I think you lot are a better team than when you lot beat us at our place. I think there are a lot of things for both teams to learn, people. And again, check out my tactical review that I did. It should be out by the time this comes out. But as you know, we're in and amongst transfer season. We are getting to an end of the January transfer window, so we might as well go over what we've been linked with, people. You know, Kiwor was at the Emirates in the stands, or better yet, in the boxes, the nice seats, to watch his new teammates or pending new teammates do their thing. We've been linked with Weston McKennie and whatever's been going on, people. So yeah, cutting the nonsense, people. It's all banter. It's all entertainment. Let me share my screen with you guys and let's crack on, people. Really and truly, there's nothing else to be said in that regard. Smash the like button. Let me know your opinions either in the live chat or commenting after. Turn on your notification bells and on all that good stuff. We've been linked with Weston McKennie, which I'm not really for. I mean, he's not a bad player, but it's a bit meaty. But for what it's worth, Arsenal is on the trail for McKennie. The talks held by the club with the player's agent could soon become something more and ignite the market finale. Juventus are willing to negotiate €5 million plus bonuses. I think he showed at the World Cup there's stuff there. I think obviously with El Nene's injury, we're a bit light in midfield. I do want a bit of midfielders with a bit more glee, but we do need some piano pushers and we do need more depth in terms of players that are going to play in the pivot. Crucially, if Mikel Arteta said this is the guy, then I can have my opinion, but Mikel Arteta's earned the right. I'll be like, all right, cool, gaffer, you know what you're talking about. Let's see in it. I'm very pessimistic on anything that links us with players in Italy, really. And we every now and again we get linked with Weston McKennie. You know, we have been linked with Vlahovic, Milinkovic-Savic, Zanolio, Locatelli. You know, even when you look at Xhaka to Roma, thank God that didn't happen. Or Torreira's saga to Fiorentina. Always taken around the houses with these Italian clubs. Saying that, shout out to, you know, Tomiyasu's previous club and also Kiwor, because we've gone to that market. Hopefully Kiwor ends up like Tomiyasu, but they didn't give us any grief, people. But we've been linked with Weston McKennie today and things like that. As you can see here, people, the Premier League is his most probable destination. He's not just linked with us, people. Apparently, we've made contact with his agents, people. So maybe this is an opportunity to add in depth. I don't know how this would impact a move for Declan Rice, for example, in the summer, but it would give us more depth because Xhaka and Partey aren't going to be here forever. El Nene's injured at the moment, and while I would actually advocate him staying, I'd advocate selling him, but staying here for another year, being a spare part, having, you know, if we go outside and it's cold, we've got too many jackets rather than sometimes Arsenal, it's like we go out in a gilet or something, and if something happens or a bit colder, we're a bit more lighter if we use that analogy. So I'm all for it, but pardon me, I'm just not sure on the credibility of this, people, really. So We've been linked with such people. What's this? That's just further confirmation, people. And we do need to remember, you know, Juventus have been docked a couple of points. They've got financial stuff going on as well. I mean, everybody knew them and Barcelona were doing something dodgy when Arthur Melo and Pjanic made that mad swap deal, people cooking the accounts. In fact, apparently Napoli are going to get in trouble for Osimhen's dealings. There is Arsenal on McKennie, what Juventus is asking for and ideas for reinvesting. There is Arsenal on the trail for McKennie. The survey made by the London club with the footballers' agents could soon become something more and ignite the final transfer market. For now, no acute from parts of the whatever that is. Juventus remains vigilant on any opportunities for the winger. Is he a winger? I know he's played in a Buki 4-4-2 and been somewhat a narrow winger, but that's more like Allegri's Bandulu. But yeah, but first, Marcel, the midfielder seems to be the most expendable of Allegri's squad. Even in the last period, he has given a big hand by sacrificing himself on the right wing. Juventus are willing to negotiate for a reasonable offer between 20 and 25 million on fixed basis plus bonuses. The requests have arrived, but the footballer hasn't shown much interest so far because he would like to move to a top club if he leaves Turin. Hello? If the Premier League remains the most likely destination in the events of a transfer, people. Haven't they got Rabiot's contract running down? So it all depends, people. Apparently, Arsenal offered to pay Martin Zubimendi's 52.5 million transfer release clause, but the midfielder wants to stay at Real Madrid. He's been likened to Busquets, people. So apparently we're willing to spend 52.5 million for him, whether this is true or not. But according to reports, the player looks set to decline the transfer. He is supposedly against leaving the Liga side while the season is ongoing. He apparently signed a 5-year deal in October of last year. He refused to raise his release clause to 79 million despite the club's wishes, fueling speculation a transfer could happen. Why would you want to make it harder for your team to sell you if you do get these moves elsewhere? As you can see here, people, we'll get into that. But the Whites and Blues are third in the table, just 3 points behind first place Barcelona, while the club are still going strong in the Europa League. So they're still trying to achieve what they're trying to achieve. Maybe he wants to leave after giving them full commitment and then going to Barcelona. You do see some reports that Xavi's more keen on him than Ruben Neves. I'll have Ruben Neves. He can stop being celebration police. You can't beat us, Wolves. Come and join us. His performances have also seen him linked with Barcelona and Manchester United. They are desperate to replace Sergio Busquets with the 34-year-old's deal set to expire at the end of the season. Arsenal are looking to strengthen their midfield options as they look to stay ahead of Manchester City in the race for the title. Never knew that. They could also be in for Declan Rice, yet West Ham would not let their captain leave this month and could reportedly demand 100 million for him. The Gunners have already snapped up Brighton attacker Leandro Trossard for 27 million after he had a falling out with manager Roberto De Zerbi. Arsenal beat their bitter rivals Tottenham in the race to buy the Belgium as they did not bid enough. Mikel Arteta is aiming to do more business this January with centre-back Jacob Kiwor spotted at an Italian airport ahead of his proposed £17.5 million move from Spezia. In the aftermath of the game, during the game, better yet, we obviously saw our impending new signing in the stands, people, with his girlfriend. I'm not too sure this is mad respectful about twerking partner and all of that nonsense, but soon to be Arsenal player Jacob Kiwor and a woman thought to be his twerking champion fiance. I mean, come on, Joshua, maybe. Come on now, have a bit of respect for the lady. But anyways, have been spotted in the director's box for Sunday's Premier League clash with Manchester United. As you know, we're on the verge of signing the Polish defender for 17.5 million quid, people. So it is what it is, bro. Not my cup of tea, but still. The 22-year-old is in England to put pen to paper on a long-term deal and is at the Emirates for the Gunners' huge clash with Manchester United. He's engaged to 30-year-old Claudio Kowalski, forgive me for mispronunciation. He watched on as his new-to-be teammates battled it out in a bid to retain their commanding lead at the top of the table. I'm not sure, man. Man United, I don't know where Arsenal or City are, but 5 points with a team like City chasing you, I'm not too sure. And Pep's already playing his games. He's already trying to G up his players, questioning their motivation. So we'll have to see how this one there develops, people. David Ornstein and people of The Athletic have been offering opinions, people, but I scrolled purely to the Arsenal one. Real Valladolid's in-demand right-back Ivan Fresneda, 18, will make a decision on his next club on Monday, which is today. Arsenal and Borussia Dortmund have both agreed terms for the player, a fee of 15 million euros, which equates to $16.2 million or 13.1 million pounds, with Fresneda to be loaned back to the Spanish side for the rest of the season. A fullback who relies a lot on his technical qualities, Fresneda stands out for his ball control and his aptitude in attack, while rarely showing weakness in his defensive duties, and a whole host of other clubs have been pursuing the Spain under-19 international, including Newcastle, who have since dropped out the race. On one hand, I would like extra cover for the absence of Cedric Suarez if he is to go to Fulham, because Tomiyasu is a bit touch and go with injuries. Benjamin White looks a bit tired, and the games are coming thick and fast. All competitions are now starting to play a part. We're still in the FA Cup. Boy, we got City on Friday. We're still in the Europa League, and we still got the Premier League, which there's 19 games or so left. So would like that, but I could understand the 18-year-old getting the move. You're getting the move at the end of the season. You just basically broke into the Real Valladolid side. You broke in, keep playing your games, keep developing, come back next summer. Well, yeah, come into the club next summer with a bit of experience, and then an 18-year-old can tie into what we're doing with this youngster thing. I'd also advocate if Mikel Arteta said, no, F all of that, come and be part of it. It is difficult to adapt in January and things, but as I've said, where you look at Trossard, or if we got Mudryk or anyone else, we're in a good state of a mind as a club. We're playing well. It's not necessary that new signings are going to get into the team straight away, sort of thing, people. You could make a case of Martinelli coming out for now for Trossard, because he has looked a bit knackered, but I think that's forcing it. So we could allow them to adapt, be a bit patient, adapt to life off the field, what Mikel Arteta relies on you at training, what he wants you to do as an individual and collectively, and all of those sort of things, people. So I could understand with minutes being currency if he stays at Valladolid for the remainder of the season. I could also understand if Mikel Arteta says, you know what, I want you in now, adapting, playing. I don't know if there'll be too many opportunities for the young man to play as we're just chasing 3 points, but I could understand it, people. Going back to Jakub Kiwor, his Arsenal transfer is set for completion within the next 24 hours after a medical. Check out my other transfer news videos because we have covered this, people. But Arsenal are expected to finalise a £21 million deal for Spezia centre-back Jakub Kiwor in the next 24 hours. He travelled to London over the weekend and watched the Gunners' 3-2 victory over Manchester United at the Emirates Stadium on Sunday. 3-2 victory over Manchester United on Sunday. 3-2 victory over Manchester United on Sunday. The 22-year-old is set to sign a contract until 2027 with the option for a further year. And on Monday, he'll complete the formalities of his move and undergo a medical before officially joining Arsenal. The Gunners will pay an upfront fee of around 17.5 million for Kiwor, but that could rise by a further 3.5 due to add-ons. As you know, he's enjoyed a fine 2022. He's made his debut for Poland and started all 4 of their games at the recent World Cup in Qatar. I'm not going to say he stood out necessarily for me doing the watch-alongs with you, but I'm here for it. He's got a lot to like. Left-footed centre-back that gives pressure for Gabriel. He really boosting it because you know that someone else is coming in. 22 years of age as well. There's resale value. There's scope to develop. He spent a season playing defensive mid. Obviously, that gives Arteta another layer to his squad, like he's shown with Tomiyasu, with Zinchenko, not really, but Xhaka playing centre mid a bit differently. He will do a thing. Smith Rowe, he's never hidden that he can play false 9. Arteta has got players that can play their position and more. Sorry, people, completely off topic. There's Premier League years, and I just seen Arsene Wenger. Shout out to my white granddad. Kiwor fits that mold, while the fact he is tall, strong, and good on the ball also means he suits what Arteta wants from a centre-back. If needed, 22-year-old can also play as a holding midfielder. He has performed well in Serie A with Spezia and had been on the radars of both AC Milan and Juventus, people. So draw whatever conclusions. Anyone that's got some hopes with Camavinga, there's absolutely no chance for Real Madrid to change their stance on Eduardo Camavinga. He'll stay at the club as the club considers him a key player for the present and the future of Madrid. All parties deny potential loan for the French midfielder, and his agent came out and quashed those rumours as well, people. So it is what it is. Kiwor will sign his contract later today, says Romano. He will be unveiled as a new Arsenal player until June 2028. Deal set to be announced. Medical tests have been successfully completed on Saturday. So over the weekend, we've done what we've needed in it. Declan Rice favouring move to Arsenal over Chelsea as West Ham exit nears. I mean, when I hear a player favours a move, especially when Chelsea's now been linked, when I hear we're confident, I hear that, but we've been here before. Man need to be holding scarves at London Coley, and you can see him liking things with Saka, where we've seen on Instagram, where we've seen social media antics before. Declan Rice is leaning towards joining Arsenal this summer because of the prospect of playing for Mikel Arteta, who has drawn up plans for where the West Ham captain would fit into his team. Arsenal have made Rice their top transfer target and are increasingly confident of beating Chelsea to his signature. The midfielder is almost certain to leave West Ham, who are battling relegation this season, and he's keen to test himself in the Champions League, people. Rice was in Chelsea's academy before being released at the age of 14, and there had been an expectation he would eventually return to his boyhood club. However, Arteta is a huge fan of Rice, who is regarded as one of the best defensive mids in Europe, and Arsenal are emerging as favourites to buy him. Manchester United are also expected to join the race for the 24-year-old. West Ham will hold million for Rice, which would make him the most expensive British player. However, the England international's contract runs until the summer of 2024 with the option of an additional year. That could force West Ham to settle for a fee in the region of 80 million. The numbers will not put off Arsenal, and they believe they can fend off interest from Chelsea, who beat their rivals to the 70 million pound signing of Mudryk from Shakhtar Donetsk last week, and also João Felix on loan. The prospect of moving to the Emirates Stadium and working under Mikel Arteta appeals to Rice. He has seen Arteta turn Arsenal into title contenders this season and would be confident of the Spaniard's coach in making him a better midfielder, people. So we'll have to see, really and truly. Arteta believes that Rice would provide elite competition for Granit Xhaka and Partey, so he believes he could develop in an 8. Personally, I'd love to see him in Partey's role in the 6. So we'll have to see how exactly that develops. Apparently, Arsenal are interested in Leeds winger Jack Harrison, people. Allegedly, who is now a slightly different situation as to what it was in the summer. Ben Jacobs has said. Let's see exactly what he said. Jack Harrison is another long-standing target. With Harrison, I think it's a slightly different situation now compared to the summer. Arsenal were not the only club that considered a move for Harrison, although they didn't move in any significant way necessary. They made inquiries, as did Newcastle United. I think now on the Harrison front, it's perhaps a level of club slightly below where Arsenal are that are looking at the player, people. So draw whatever conclusions you want to draw from the former Manchester City man, where maybe Mikel Arteta cross paths with him. That's for later, people, as is that. As is this as well. I just want to see goal.com's. They got I like goal.com's little thing with that they do. This Arsenal's thing here. Arsenal's transfer news live. We've covered Zubimendi, people. Arsenal plot summer move for Zubimendi. It's nice to see, you'd imagine he's an alternative to Declan Rice, or maybe both. According to the Spanish outlet, Arsenal want to sign central midfielder Martin Zubimendi. I think they mean from Real Sociedad in the summer. The same report states Zubimendi rejected Arsenal's offer a few days ago as he wanted to finish the season with La Real. Barcelona also heavily interested in the midfielder, as they believe he can be the successful successor to Sergio Busquets. Obviously, we've got a Spanish contingent. Mikel Arteta was a Spanish midfielder. Obviously, see what we're doing, and the law of the Premier League could tempt him. I personally, if I was him, not that Arsenal isn't a good project, but Barcelona, historically big club, Xavi, you all know what he brought to the team. Man want you to replace Sergio Busquets. So I do think we'd probably be second in command there. But if we move quickly and Barca are broke, who knows? Spanner in the works. Apparently Fulham call interest in Cedric Suarez. Arsenal may have to find a new club for Cedric. He was tipped to join Fulham, but Marco Silva's side is exploring other alternatives, people. So maybe that means Freseda would stay on loan. Cedric can stay until the summer, and well, you're not going to play too much football in a nice way. Declan Rice allegedly is leaning towards Arsenal. Who knows? Arsenal are in the picture to sign Vlahovic. I think that case is closed, but apparently Arsenal, Chelsea, Man United, Paris Saint-Germain and Bayern Munich are all circling for the signature of the 22-year-old. Apparently there's an imminent announcement for Jakub Kiwor. We face Newcastle competition for Freseda, people. We did plot a shock move for Camavinga allegedly, and we have announced the signing of Leandro Trossard. So it doesn't feel like there's anything new per se there, people, but that seems to be the transfer news. Any announcements, any updating and emerging news, I'll be quick to get the videos out for you lot. Appreciative to everybody who's been locked in today and offered their opinions, watched the vid, slapped the like button, turned on their notifications and all that good stuff. Appreciate all the support you give my YouTube channels, my Twitch channels, my watch alongs and everything, people. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. Stay blessed, stay safe. Make sure you subbed if you haven't. Have a good week. Stay in good health, and I extend that to your loved ones. One love.
Always just that active red light, defending. I think it's like